Hello and welcome to Cars on 100. And on today's video I have 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe Caligraphy 2.5 turbo all-wheel drive. So we're gonna look at this car from the outside, look at this car from the inside, and check out the window sticker for some of the options that come on this car. So let's not waste any more time and let's jump into it. Let's start from the outside first, from the front. As you can see, this is a redesigned Hyundai Caligraphy version of a Santa Fe, and it looks very sharp, very nice. You have a daytime running lights kind of going into the bumper and kind of continuing on both lights. These lights are not connected, they just separated by the bumper. In terms of the light design, there are two separate lights, but it looks unique, very nice. It's a very different design compared to everything on the market, and the Korean designers are really doing different something compared to Japanese and German counterparts. And as we go around, we have this nice grille, as you can see, and this very nice chrome brushed chrome finish up front. You have a parking sensors, of course, and this grille is very different. You have a front 360 camera. As we go around, we have a very interesting design on these wheels. These are 255/45 R20, so these are 20-inch rims all around on this car. You have this chrome, regular chrome design on the side sills, and we have the brushed chrome continuing on the window trim. And this is also kind of a same as the chrome. These are three different chromes here, as I can see by the colors. It's very unique, very different. You have a side door mounted side mirrors, and as we go around, you see these lights. These are LED lights as well. Santa Fe logo here. H-Track 2.5 turbo. You have one exhaust, and it is connected to the exhaust pipe, like some other automakers. And generally, I would say it's a very different, very interesting, unique approach to a segment where the SUV is dominating. So let's check out this car on the inside. In order to enter this Hyundai Santa Fe, we have a very interesting and different key fob here. Lock, unlock, hold for trunk release, hold for panic, and you can move this car as well. If you're in a tight parking space, you can move this car up or move this car back, forward and backwards. So the car needs to be locked, and you can press and hold the remote start button and the car will turn on. You can keep this key fob in your pocket, and you can lock the car by the sensor here, or you can unlock it by the sensor behind the door opener handle, and side mirrors will open. Some luxury features on the outside of this car as well. You have automatic up and down on all four sides of the windows. In terms of the window controls, you have some controls for the side mirrors, and you have automatic folding mirrors as well. This is hard plastic, soft touch leather here, hard plastic, and you have a Harman Kardon optional sound system on this fully loaded Caligraphy version of the Santa Fe. You have a memory seating for two drivers, and you have a child lock as well for the windows. And you have a large book pocket here, and you have a large bottle holder here as well. As we go around, Santa Fe, as you can see here, the side sill. In terms of these seats, as you can see, you have a lot of adjustability for these seats. You can move this seat forward, backwards, you can adjust the lumbar. You can also extend the thigh support, and it's kind of a sporty version as well. As you can see here, in terms of the seating design, this kind of reminds me of Infinitis back in the day. Driver's seat had this cutout, like to emphasize the sportiness of the car, but both the driver and the passenger seat have them in this car compared to the Infiniti. In terms of the design for this seat, you have perforation, you have some quilted design top of the seat, and you have bolstering, which is somewhat bolstered seats on the bottom and on the top as well. And in terms of the entrance, is quite large. Once we step inside, And in terms of the design, I would say it's quite unique. It's a Hyundai design after all. You know, you get this sense that this car has very interesting, you know, approach to this design. You have this kind of suede Alcantara top, which is kind of interesting in terms of the price range for this car. Usually cars in this price range don't get this. Usually Lexus cars get this, but Hyundai likes to combine all the luxury aspects and everything that other automakers offer and combine them into the very good affordable price. Just like this, we have instrument cluster, which is a digital instrument cluster, and it's quite large. This as well, you have Harman Kardon sound system, which is optional also on this car and sounds really nice. Hyundai does everything very well, combining every features nicely, not overdone. And you can see this middle section here for the climate control options. You have a lot of buttons. You can also kind of adjust it through the, you know, through the infotainment here, but you don't have to. You know, you can use the buttons. Hyundai gives you this ability to change, you know, and adjust settings the way you want it. You want to touch it, you can use the touch, and this display is really good. It's very, very precise in terms of the inputs, very fast, and Hyundai does good job kind of updating these infotainment systems. Even from the beginning they were quite fast, quite nice, and now it's even better. You have these options here for the infotainment. You have the knob for the volume as well as the seek, you know, track, and everything laid out precisely and nicely, intuitively. You can adjust the temperature here, but you don't have the display here. Once you adjust the temperature, it will pop up on your display. And you have the options here to manipulate transmission without having a lever. You can just press it, and you can see, you know, as I mentioned before, you have this 360 camera, you have trajectory as well as the buttons here for the transmission, which is quite simply, you know, interesting in terms of the design. And I think Honda does the same design. Once again, Hyundai combines all the automakers together to give you these options where, you know, you can really use this car conveniently. You have the wireless charger here as well, by putting the phone into this, and it will kind of be held by this, and it's a very interesting place to put the wireless charger. You can also have the wired connection here. You have two cup holders, which is interestingly laid out. You can close this section, and you have larger cup holder here, smaller cup holder there. You have you know, the middle storage here, quite large, quite deep, and nicely leather appointed everything. In terms of the design, you have this unique design for this car in terms of the suede Alcantara type top section. Then you have some you know, sections for the, you know, trim. Interesting design overall everywhere. You have this like 3D type of look for this Santa Fe you know, dashboard here. Different modes here, you can go into different sections, and very nice 2.5 liter engine with a turbo. You can hear it a little bit. Speaking of the steering wheel as well, you have the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. You have adjustability and options for your Bluetooth control, so for your phone, and you have options here for your cruise control. And in terms of the design, you have 10 and 2 notches here for this steering wheel. If it was a little bit, you know, flat bottom, it would be, I guess, more interesting, but this is not performance SUV, this is not a sport SUV, so I guess it's acceptable. I also have a window sticker here, so you can check out this window sticker. Pause the video at any second to see all the standard and optional equipment for this Caligraphy version of Santa Fe. And as you can see here, final assembly point is Montgomery, Alabama, USA, and 24 miles per gallon combined, 21 in the city, 28 on the highway. Now let's check out the back seats of this car. In order to enter the back seats, you have to have the car unlocked. There's no keyless entry into the back seats. You have a side shades here. It's a very convenient feature if you have a baby in the back, so the sun does not bother the baby. And I guess privacy. You have heated back seats as well in this car. As you can see, Harman Kardon sound system, speakers here as well. And you have a large book pocket here as well as the bottle holder. And you have the same Santa Fe logo on the side seals for the back doors as well. And if you want to fold these seats, you have the option to fold these seats. There's plenty of legroom here. Very nice solid feel, even though it's a Hyundai and there's a perception that these cars are cheaper than everything else on the market, but I started to like these cars more and more because Hyundai is really trying hard to get the sales, really trying hard based on the quality that they are bringing. Not just, they're trying to sell these cars cheaper and cutting corners. They're not. They're really making these cars very nicely in terms of the quality. As you can see the quality everywhere in terms of the design. You have the vents here in the back. You have two USB options, USB type A. You have actual outlet, 115 volt power outlet there, so you can connect everything even with the ground. You have back pocket here, this middle section here with two cup holders, and I guess small Red Bull kind of a bottle here, a can here, and you have a flat, soft touch material here as well. Let's check out the trunk space. In order to enter the trunk, you have to have key fob in your pocket, and you have a button there, or you can open it through the key fob as well. Trunk space here, very large. You have some options here on the bottom of the trunk. You have some storage here, and you have the fix-a-flat kit here as well. Now let's check out what's under the hood. I hope you enjoyed today's review of this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe Caligraphy 2.5 Turbo all-wheel drive. If you have any questions about this car, please leave a comment and I will get back to you. And I'll see you next time. Stay loving cars.